It all starts here.
This is Roland Hagenberg in Brooklyn. Painter, art director and head of the motion graphics department at the School of Visual Art, Jeffrey Metzner was a versatile artist. In the following conversation he talks about 9/11, his arrest for a book on Tibetan spiritualism and about his life with renowned photographer Jeffrey Metzner. Jeffrey passed away in February 2008.
I began as a commercial artist, as an art director. I studied commercial art first, and then that led in. This is a long time ago. This is now almost 50 years ago. And then that led me into art direction, and then graphic design, and then later on I began to get interested in painting and also photography. And I just sort of started growing my interests, and so I've always liked being diversified, and I always thought it would be like really great to not just be a designer, or not just be an art director, or not just be a director, but to sort of dabble, or maybe dabble is the wrong word, but to apply myself to other disciplines. And that's the way I've spent my life. So I guess that I could say that I'm an artist. Well, first of all, she was an unusual person. Really, I have to say that I've never met anyone like her, never, and I don't expect to. Not only is she the most beautiful woman that I've ever seen, and has been since the first time I saw her, but she's also one of the smartest people that I know. The night before we got married, I sort of had an epiphany, and I wrote this thing that we called the Pact. And the Pact said that we could not end our marriage unless we both agreed that it was the thing to do. This is a fantastic thing. I think everybody should do this, because there were many times in the 40 years where, you know, I would say to Sheila, I've had it, this is it, done, you know, goodbye, I'm out of here. And she would go like, I'm not feeling like that. I'm calling on the Pact. You know, you have to go on with your life, I think, is what it is. And even if you want to call it like denial, or whatever it is to survive, you can't continue to hold on to these to this negativity. I can't. People don't talk about this too much, and they only showed it the first day, but we saw, you know, people holding hands and jumping out of the windows the whole way, like paper dolls, you know, I mean, holding hands like that, silhouetted against the sky, 5 or 6 people at a time. It was very hard to take. I was doing Tai Chi on the roof when the first plane went in. It was right in front of me, and I ran downstairs, and then we saw the next plane, and then we watched the whole thing happen. And those moments, and the sound of it, and the confusion of it. You know, at one point when the first building came down, every bird, every seagull, thousands of them in the whole area just went like that and into the air, like screeching like that. It was like so strong. So these images and feelings would come to me at my most relaxed moment. How does it relate to my art? You know, I have to separate it. I've never done any piece of art that was directly related to Twin Towers.
Do you think, in looking back, there was a change in your work, or
yeah, definitely
in the way you worked, maybe? Or?
Well, I'll show. If I showed you later these computer art, maybe you would say, "Oh, this is a result of that experience." I had never thought of it until just now, you asking.
When you're painting, how do you get into the mood? Do you have certain rituals?
Okay, so I'm going to have to tell you everything now. Drive up to the country, unpack, put all the kids to bed, whatever, like that. And then I would go into the studio. Maybe it could be anywhere from 9 to 11 o'clock at night. And I'd paint till maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Next day, Saturday, same thing. Got into the studio 9, 10 o'clock, paint all night to the morning. And I did that for, you know, 25 years or something like that. Just Friday night and Saturday night. And quiet. I don't play music. And have lights, you know, just, you know, regular lights. So I don't paint in natural light. And I'm making these very big canvases, and this is very, very small, smallest one I ever did. But these huge canvases, and they're very nicely rendered, abstract shapes, and So it's very quiet, nice thing for me to sort of drift in and out of a dream. I'm very happy painting, and so I have a large body of work that I'm very happy with. I made these paintings and they're great. I'm not so interested to go out and find a gallery and have a show and sell my work, and it's just not what it's about for me. As a matter of fact, I'd rather keep them all and than sell them or give them to my children or like that. But I don't. So Sheila, on the other hand, is always asking me to, why don't you have a show? Why don't you sell? Why don't you do this? And I'm not really so interested to do that. But I do, I am interested in making money from my art, and so I have my own projects like the Stick Project, which is mine, and so then I am interested in making money from that. It's my art, my pure art, like my paintings and this computer art that I was telling you about, and other projects of mine. It just comes from a very personal place, and not so interesting to me to get involved in the art world business and to try to sell my work in that way. When I met Sheila, I was like in my 20s, and I figured that maybe I wouldn't make it to 30. If I was lucky, I wouldn't, and I didn't really care. It was fine with me, the life that I was living. But I got saved, really. My marriage to her saved that, and part of me that was willing to self-destruct. And so then it grew into this fantastic family. I never expected it, but it makes me the happiest of everything in my life.